Alright, this is gonna be my thoughts on Impact Wrestling, TNA. To me, I think over the past month, we've really seen TNA go from a high to somewhat of a low. And I think that's pretty much been the story of the whole company's existence. With the weekly pay-per-views, TNA was branded to be the alternative. It was something different from what WWE was giving us. A lot of people bought into that, and myself included. But it took something big for that to happen. I started watching when Kurt Angle came. It was amazing. And from there, it was just like, I don't know if you guys have felt the same way, but you feel kind of like, it's like an overload of information that you get when starting to watch a new company. It happened when I started watching ROH and TNA. It's like you have to learn the storylines, the feuds, the wrestlers, everything that comes with starting a new company. Which is why when I do start watching a new company, I take it slow. I don't like indie wrestling. I think is the hardest to follow because it's not on TV. So you really have to buy the DVDs to know what's going on. And with TNA, although it was on TV, it was very easy to get into and it was very easy to keep up with. And at the time, they were only 1 hour, so it did seem like the show was rushed, but it was efficient. It had its cause, and everyone thought with 2 hours, they can do amazing. And when they did get 2 hours, did it really do as good as everyone thought? It was like an infomercial, a lot of people said. It was like kept on promoting everything, a lot of promos. That's when things started going downhill. I think once you had guys who have already passed their prime come in and really take over things like I don't know about the creative, but the in-ring stuff, the main event spot, that's when things started going down for TNA. With Kurt Angle there, I feel it was different for him because he helped a lot of guys get over, like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal, Abyss. I remember when Kurt Angle had that pay-per-view, we wrestled 3 matches, and all 3 of those matches were really, really good. And it just seemed like, although Kurt Angle was there was still something that was missing, and that was that golden boy, the John Cena of that company. And a lot of people want to throw that label on AJ Styles, but let's face it, things have held AJ back from elevating to that spot. I think they've really slapped on that rocket ship right up the ass of many wrestlers, including Abyss, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Matt Morgan. I think Robert Roode was kind of on that plane as well. And it never worked. The guy didn't take off as well as I think they thought it would. Maybe it's some higher power that's holding someone back. I don't want to say, brother, but I think it's someone, I don't know if it's true or what, but Hulk Hogan was the one who held Robert Roode back from winning the title at Bound for Glory. And decisions like that just don't make sense. You've been building up Robert Roode for so long, and to have him lose to Kurt Angle in about a 15-minute main event, 15-20 minutes, and hit every move in his arsenal and still not be able to put away Kurt Angle, but the following week on Impact, his tag team partner can give one super kick with no build at all and win the title. That, I think, was a little weird. I'm sure, you really have to look to see where they're going with it, because it could just be another Randy Orton and Christian situation, where you can see one of the two turning heel, and it could elevate them even more. Because Robert Roode, I think, was never a good face. I think he is preferred as a heel. And James Storm, who I personally prefer over Robert Roode, I think he should be the one chasing for the belt against Robert Roode, who should be champion. So with that being said, is it the higher powers that make TNA bad? Is it the lack of star power or someone to get behind? Because let's face it, TNA I don't know if it's still true now, but at one point they had the best roster in the world. They better than WWE, better than PWG, and I don't want to say Japan, because honestly I don't know. And a lot of you guys will be in Japan. Ugh. What holds people back? What is it that... It's like a cigarette almost. It seems like guys who came in are like the filter of a cigarette. When you smoke it, the smoke goes through a filter. And those wrestlers are like the filter in the professional wrestling business. The Booker T's, the Scott Steiner, Kurt Angle, Sting, Hogan, Jeff Hardy. Just, guys who come, Matt Hardy, Mr. Anderson. Guys who've established their name in another company. They come into TNA thinking that because they're an ex-WWE guy that they're going to get that push to the top. So though that filter there, unlike a cigarette that holds back actually pretty much the same thing. The filter takes all the smoke, holds it back from going into your mouth. So the filter in a cigarette is doing somewhat of a good job. A filter in a wrestling business are those old guys who are holding everyone back. They're letting the shit go in our mouth, which is them, because they want their spot on top. And there comes a point in any company where it's like, no one wants to see you guys anymore. Although I think TNA gets the impression that that's what creates ratings and that's what creates an audience, a lot of people aren't tuning in anymore because, you know, I personally didn't, but, you know, I watched, who's a guy? It's Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy in 1998, 1999, 2000-ish. Why would I want to see them in 2011, now coming on to 2012? These guys aren't rookies anymore. They're not looking for their big break. You know, Jeff Hardy's had how many chances, and his whole storyline, oh, one more chance. Kurt Angle, he's been around same, you know, 2001, 2000. You know, 12 years later, you know, you're still awesome and all, but, you know, let someone else have that spot. Kevin Nash. Yeah, that's all I think. I think that TNA, I think they have the potential, but I think the higher-ups are really holding people back. I can't really speak for anything because I don't know what's going on backstage. I know that Spike TV goes through Eric Bischoff a lot, and I think Eric Bischoff's formula is to put guys who are known on TV to get old viewers to start watching. But I think those old viewers are now realizing that wrestling isn't what it used to be. They're more in the MMA circuit. I personally haven't watched TNA in I couldn't tell you. Like, I watched the highlights, you know, when it comes on my subscription list, but that's it. I don't sit there and watch Impact in a long time. But that's just me. Leave your guys' thoughts, and yeah, I'll see you guys.